Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Cycling Fanatic Halftime Show. Matt Van Winkle, Jared Stansbury here, breaking down the first half of Iowa State Baylor. Round two, Iowa State leading the Bears 37-32 at the break. Want to thank our sponsors, of course, Fareway Meat and Grocery, longtime sponsor of CyclingFanatic.com, and our friends at Ames and Des Moines Eye Care. Count on them for eye care for the whole family. Jared, how are you, my friend?
Doing pretty well, man.
Yeah,
Wish that second half had ended or first half had ended a little bit better, but
yeah.
uh, hard to be too upset right now.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth throughout the half. I mean, Baylor just seemed like, I mean, they've been off for what, a little over 3 weeks now. I mean,
hmm
man, that's such a long break for any team, especially the number two team in the country. You'd expect them to play a better half, but I mean, just that lag time. That I mean, I don't know how much, they haven't even really been able to practice much until this past week, is what it sounds like. Guys just been getting shots in, but obviously showing their rust early, and Iowa State looking like a team that has played well in stretches these past 3 games. We've seen them. We saw it again, against Oklahoma this past game. Really had looked like they could maybe pull it off. Obviously, Oklahoma pulled away down the stretch, but Iowa State looking like a team that's put together some nice play. Obviously, you had a really good half from Tyler Harris, 14 points, 12 for Rasheer, and 6 for Jalen Coleman-Lands, but Iowa State really, I mean, until that last, 6, 7 minutes of the half was really dominating on all efforts, Jared.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think that you could tell right away early in the game that Baylor was just kind of a step slow.
Hmm.
They were uh, they looked like they got tired really quickly, and I told you, I was like, man, wait about 10, 15 minutes,
Hmm.
and let's see where they're at that point. And right when you got to about when you got there, Baylor had really turned it on, and it was when I think they went on their 7-0 run that cut the lead to
Yeah.
10.
So the
Um,
Cyclones they led by as much as 17 and a half. That was when it was 32-15. And then Baylor went on, what was it, like a 12-2 run there to kind of tighten things up. But yeah, I mean, Iowa State was really stretching that lead out. And I know you were kind of like, just give it some time. Baylor's gonna do their thing, and cut it down to 5 at the half. But um, yeah, what did you see from, I guess, from Baylor specifically in that stretch where they were giving Iowa State trouble?
well, I mean, I think the biggest thing, dude, is just like they they really ratcheted up the intensity defensively,
Yeah.
and I think that we saw there during that half that they're going to be able to get away with some things guarding the dribble. Mark Vital,
Hmm.
and like this is credit to them. Like I'm not complaining, or anything like that. It's where
Right.
you started to see those guys use their hands a little bit more defensively,
Hmm.
guiding guys with putting their hand on a hip and things like that. And they were able to really shut Iowa State down a little bit there at the end of the half and kind of limit their ability to break guys down off of the dribble and get into the paint.
Hmm.
Iowa State's gonna have to be able to match that intensity. They're gonna have to figure out a way offensively to open some of those things up. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna see a lot of this smaller lineup that Baylor used
Yeah.
during the tail end of the first half. During the second half of the game, I wouldn't be surprised if Flo Thamba doesn't play a ton more minutes tonight.
Hmm.
And you just got to hit shots, man. I mean, you're not gonna shoot 70% again, probably.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you gotta, but when you get open looks, because there's probably not going to be a ton of them, you have to knock them down. And
Hmm.
I think that that's the big thing. And then you got to limit the live ball turnovers. Still had 11 turnovers,
Yeah.
despite having
A few of
a
them late in that half. I mean, they weren't
yeah.
they only had like 6 or 7 until that last 4 or 5 minutes, and they turned it over a few times. But
But that's where you saw Baylor being able to get on the run was when they were able to
yeah.
get some live ball turnovers and get out on the break. And you just can't afford to have those kinds of situations. So you got to
Hmm.
keep your defensive intensity up. Got to continue to crash the boards. Baylor's going to send them hard and knock down shots when you get the opportunities. I think that
Hmm.
the Cyclones have done some good things, but you just got to keep playing, man. I mean, you got them on the ropes here a little bit, but gave them some confidence there at the end of the first half. I think they obviously
Hmm.
went 209 without scoring
Yeah.
to end the half. Come right out. It'd be big to be able to win that first 4 minute stretch. I think here of the second half, and go into the under 16 timeout. Maybe stretch that lead back to 10 if you can, and just try and come out and land the first punch. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it could get ugly a little bit quick.
I don't think anyone really expected Iowa State to lead the half in the rebound margin, 15-14. Iowa State leading, just a slim margin, but for a while there it was pretty largely in favor of Iowa State. George Condit got in foul trouble early, a couple early fouls for him. Tyler Harris actually got the start today, which was a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if that was talked about earlier in the week, Jared, but I know there were some, Promoy playing six guys and against Oklahoma in the second half. Kind of maybe alluded to that, who he was going to play or uh, lean towards more in this game. But Tyler Harris really taking advantage of that start. Condit came in late in that first half too, but I'd be surprised to see. I'd be curious to see how he plays in the second half. They're really going to need him, especially on the glass down the stretch if they want to extend this lead at all.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be my concern here for Iowa State. I mean, you had your five starters, which that group of five starters is the five that played the majority of the
Hmm.
second half against Oklahoma. My only concern is that if you get all those guys into the territory where they're playing, 32, 33, 34 minutes and, so up, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Rasir Bolton plays all 40 tonight, but,
Yeah.
um, your concern is do those guys get a little bit tired? And you hope not.
Hmm.
Uh, but even, you have to get something from Javen Johnson when he comes
Yeah.
into the game. You have to get something from Jalen Walker or Jaden Walker. I mean, he just has looked really uncomfortable here these last this is a tough matchup for him, man. I mean, the way that
Hmm.
these guys get up in you and make it really hard for you to be able to put the ball on the deck. Like this is going to be a tough game for both of those guys, but they've got to be able to come in and um, give you something. And
Hmm.
if they can do that, dude, like then I think Iowa State's going to have a chance. But you got to get something from that bench because that's going to
Yeah.
be my concern as these guys getting tired here as this game goes along.
That's been the biggest struggle when they've gone on these long like scoring droughts when they just basically rely on like a Bolton for scoring. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket. You're right. You need that. You need to see more guys contributing. Javen's going to need to contribute. Solo's going to need to get some offensive rebounds, some extra. Don't give Baylor any extra opportunities. Like you said, don't let them get out in transition.
And I will say too, especially if they play that small lineup, this is the game that Solo needs to take advantage of
Yeah.
because you saw it a little bit late there where they were really
Yeah.
pressing on the 3-point line. They're going to get some opportunities for Solo to go one-on-one against Mark Vital, whoever it may be. If they're switching those screens, especially, and you can get Vital isolated onto one of the guards, like you can work the ball back around, get the ball into the post to Solo, and you got to figure out a way to create something because Baylor's going to make it tough on you. They're going to try and jump the passing lanes. Like I said, they're going
Hmm.
to get really up in you and try and prevent you from being able to attack the lane. And all those guys are really good on-ball defenders.
Hmm.
So I expect they're probably going to run some sets, try and get Solo isolated in the post. Wouldn't shock me if we saw that right away here. Maybe, Iowa State's first possession,
Hmm.
you come out and try and get Solo an isolated post touch and then see where you can go from there. But like I said, win these first 4 minutes, try and get it back up to 10, and then see where you can go from that point. But it's hard to be mad about where they're at right now. Just got to keep playing.
Yeah. Make a few threes. If you can shoot 70% in the second half, I think you're going to have a decent chance if you can keep Baylor at bay a little bit. But again, Iowa State, they put up that graphic during the first half of how close they've been in some of these games against some really good teams. And you're seeing that again tonight. What do you think ultimately it's going to take for them to close this one out, Jared?
Oh man, you can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You can't turn the ball over. Can't give Baylor those easy opportunities in those situations. And then you just got to
Hmm.
continue. It's like I said, you got to knock down shots. Solo's got to knock down his isolated opportunities in the post. And if you get an open three, like it doesn't get much more crucial to make it than in this game. So, because they're just not going to come around very, very often, and it's
Hmm.
going to be huge. Can't go on another scoring drought like they did to end the half. We'll see we'll see too with what happens here with Baylor because it wouldn't shock me if those guys start to get a little bit tired,
Right.
especially if they have to play that one lineup and they have a short bench here tonight as well. So. It'll be fun, man. I think it should be a fun second half here. Cody asks, what was the date of the last Cyclone
Was it
win?
TCU?
Uh,
Oh, the last
well,
win.
yeah, the last win was against Jackson State, which was before
Yeah.
Christmas, I think. And then their last Big
There you
12
go.
win would have been a year ago in 2 days. So they need to pick up a win
That's
if
right.
they can hang around here a little bit longer.
Man, love the fight from these guys. They just don't give up. just hoping they can find a way tonight, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate everyone watching as well. We had almost over 200 people watching tonight, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much for supporting us all this season. You gonna have a post game wrap on this one, Jared?
I've got the instant reaction, and then and then Rob has
Rob's got the
post
road
game
recap.
report. So yep, that'll be on the site after the game.
Sounds good. Cool. We'll look for that. CycloneFanatic.com, Cyclone Fanatic on your social media feeds as well. Matt Van Winkle, Jared Stansbury signing off. Enjoy the second half, everyone.